On our way to Camp Millbrook, we'll see a number of interesting architecture. This is one of the interesting architectures. This is a church called St. John's Anglican Church. It was built probably in the 1700s. And this church was used primarily by the plantation owners that lived in this area. Along the way going up to Camp Millbrook, you'll see a number of different land formation and geological features. Jamaica is best to have a lot of resources, some of which is in the form of what we're looking at here, which is limestones. You have the yellow limestones to your left, and also we have the volcanic residue that was left here during the time of the island was being formed, when the island was pushed up out of the sea. Over on the right you see some shaly looking rocks. Those are filled with magnesium, and those are basically volcanic residue. The yellow section of the soil that you're looking at, that's actual limestone. That's an older type limestone which is yellow in coloration. You'll also see some white limestone later on as we do our filming. All right, the white limestone is a much more recent or younger type of limestone. So as we go along, we show you some additional geological features. We'll show you some great landscape, and we'll also show you some more historical buildings that's located here while going up to Camp Millbrook. Similar as going as we go up to Camp Millbrook, we now will look at a number of land features. Very interesting for the geological lovers. We see the natural features here. This is actually a volcanic outcrop of residue that was spewed out by the volcanoes when the island was being formed. As you can see, the different type of rock layers from the residue that was left from the volcano back in time when the island was being formed. So this is very interesting, and this volcanic residue is filled with magnesium. So people that are interested in different type of soil content and want to know what to use these products to make, you can actually find magnesium right here on the surface level. So this is a volcanic outcrop, part of our natural features here in Jamaica, which makes this island very interesting. What makes Jamaica also very interesting and a very lovely place and a gem in the Caribbean is that we have so many natural wonders here. We have so many resources here. What we're looking at here are some actual nuni trees, trees that are used to treat a number of ailments. We have a soursop tree, which is used to treat cancer. So it's 100 times better than chemotherapy. And primarily all the trees that you see along the roadway as you go up are trees that are medicinal in value. So it can be used extensively for research to find other cures and ailments for a number of diseases and ailments that we have today. You will also see a number of farmers along the way that could introduce you to a number of the products that they plant on their farms. Here we have Delroy, who has some bananas and Jamaican avocado, or pears as it's called here in Jamaica. And that's what makes the country beautiful, is that you can never get hungry because there's always something to eat, and you can stop at these friendly farmers and talk to them, and they'll explain to you exactly what you're looking at. So it's very important that when you come to Jamaica, speak to the local folks and share some of what they grow, and you have a better picture of what Jamaica is all about. Here's another nice architecture. This church is a Springfield Baptist Church. It was built also in the 1700s. Was used by the plantation owners here back in the 1700s and 1800s. This church, quite interestingly, is the home of Paul Bogle, the slave leader that was taught Christianity here at Springfield Baptist Church. He, however, then led a rebellion against the plantation owners for emancipation of slaves in Jamaica. So interestingly, This church is a very prominent landmark, and it's also, again, the place where Jamaica's first national hero, Samuel Sharp, preached. You have a number of surrounding plantations that were here, some of which are the Tulla Plantation, the Delissa Plantation, the Vaughnsfield Plantation, which is further up the road where the campsite sits. So as you go up, we'll explain to you the history behind all these different plantations in Jamaica. Obviously, the plantations were owned by Englishmen from England, and as you pan around, also you see a number of different type of fruit trees and different type of architecture. So this is actually rural Jamaica at its best, and you get a good history in terms of what you're looking at right now. Like we mentioned earlier, this is a monument of Sam Sharp, Jamaica's first national hero. He was of African descent and had fought for emancipation of slaves from the English that lived in this area. This area is very historical in terms of people of African history for Jamaica. This area, which is known as Kensington, is the area in which the trash house was lit to give a signal for all the slaves on the surrounding plantation to fight for their freedom. Over 160 plantations were destroyed in this area, and thousands of people lost their lives. Um, so these are some of the historical uh, things we have in Jamaica. They're very important, and it's very interesting to people that are particularly interested in research as far as history is concerned. Now, as we go up further, we'll also find some more historical site. We'll also look into some of the hiding places that the slaves used to gain access to fight against the British soldiers. We're blessed to be in a country that has so much natural resources. If you look around, you'll see a number of different type of trees. Like I said earlier, most of these trees are medicinal in nature. We have a number of different fruit trees. As you can see, we have some banana trees right now you're looking at. We also have some bamboo trees in the foreground. Bamboo trees are one of the trees that gives off the most oxygen in the world. So whenever you go under a bamboo tree, it always feels cool, and the reason for that is because it takes in a lot of CO2 and gives out uh, quite a bit of oxygen. And you pan across also, you see different types of fruit trees, which makes the island unique because quite like other places that you travel to, you may see a lot of trees, but they're not fruit-bearing trees. But most of the trees that you're looking at are fruit-bearing trees. Um, and as we go along, we'll also see some additional land features and limestone rock outcropped. This particular rock outcrop is called Anarock, and it's called Anarock because a slave uh, jumped off the top of this rock to commit suicide. Her name obviously was Anna, and she said she'd rather die than stay enslaved. So this is the reason why this area is so historic in nature, and this is the reason why this rock formation, this limestone rock formation, is called Anarock. Jamaica is such a wonderful place. Again, we're blessed to have a number of different resources here, and what's important is to know is that we have so many different types of trees in Jamaica that can grow at any time of the year. Normally beer at every different time of the year, so you never run short of food in Jamaica. Um, as you look around on Camp Millbrook, you'll see a number of different type of trees. You see the raspberry tree, the lemon tree, the coconut tree, mango tree, uh, the fever grass tree, which is Richard now is pointing at, and that is used locally as a medicinal plant. It's used primarily for drinking for tea, particularly in the morning time. Also used to get rid of fever. So locally it's called fever grass, because that's what folks use to treat fever. Behind which is another tree, which is called a natto tree, which is used primarily for meat seasoning. It's also used as cosmetics, can be used to make lipstick. Uh, Very tasty ingredient when you cook it. All natural products, and as you pan around, you'll see a number of other trees, all fruit-bearing trees, and primarily all medicinal plant trees. And these are some of the wonderful thing about Jamaica is that we have all these plants here. We have all these fruit trees that you can always partake and find a fruit to eat at any time of the year. Here we have at Camp Millbrook a number of different fruit. Here Richie's pointing out a pineapple tree. There are a number of different types of pineapples. And here it grows on naturally, and they're all organic. So if you're into natural foods, organic food, this is a place to be. Um, Directly behind Richard are also other trees, the fever grass, the cashew tree, which is where you'll get the cashew from. Um, Also behind Richard, you'll find also the sorrel, which is used to make Jamaica's national drink, which is sorrel drink. It's also now used locally by local researchers as a cure for cancer and HIV. So you have a number of different plants in Jamaica, fruit-bearing plants and medicinal plants that can be used to find a possible cure for ailments or added resources for treatment of different diseases, and so we have it all here at Camp Millbrook. It's very important that we go back to nature and try to live a very healthy and clean life, and we try to promote that here at Camp Millbrook. And as you'll see, we have a number of different type of fruit trees here also, and medicinal plant trees. So if you're interested in medicinal research, we welcome you to come by and talk to us about collaborating with us on our research project. And we're always welcome to have you here. As we go along at the campsite, we also show you some other features. You'll also see some fossils that are over 40 and 60 million years old. We'll talk to you a bit about the history of the place, and we'll also show you some caves that were used by the local Maroons to hide and fight against the English plantation owners. Camp Millbrook is also the home for the Camp Millbrook Horse Rescue Program. And as you see Richard mount one of our horses here, this horse is also a part of our horse rescue program. And basically what we do, we horses that folks cannot take care of anymore, horses that were formerly used at the racetrack, and people don't want them anymore, and we take them in at Camp Millbrook and provide them with very good care, and then we use them as our for trail riding here. So if you want to come to Camp Millbrook, if you want to support our local horse rescue program, feel free to talk to one of our staff at Camp Millbrook, and feel free if you'd like to take a ride. Richard on the horse right now will be more than welcome to have you come and take a ride.
Welcome to Camp Millbrooks.